Hi folks, this is Doron, and today I'm going to show you a game called Sheriff of Nottingham, which is one of the best bluffing games in my opinion. In this game you all play merchants that are bringing goods into Nottingham and trying to pass the sheriff who's settled in a checkpoint in an effort to catch you smuggling possibly contraband into Nottingham and make money that way, which you'll see in just a moment. The game is set up for 3 players, and it does play between 3 and 5, I believe. Now each player will get to be a sheriff. It depends on the number of players, but I believe in a 3-player game each player will be the sheriff 3 times. Once that happens, the game's over and you compare score, which is a combination of victory points and money. Whomever has the most is obviously not the loser but the winner. Now the way that this works, we have the sheriff token here. Let's assign this player as the sheriff at the moment. You started with a hand of 6 cards and you go through certain phases in order to complete a round. In the first phase, or actually before that, let me mention, you started with a hand of 6 cards where you would have goods in them. Green cards are considered goods, red cards are considered illegal goods or contraband. If you are successfully bringing these in, smuggling these in any way, they're worth a lot of points. Not only do you make more money, but you help the resistance, Robin Hood, fighting the sheriff in a way. Now these are good cards. The more that you have at the end of the game, you would also earn a bonus, and I'll just jump in and show you how this works, and it will make more sense momentarily. So the first phase is market, and each player in turn order what they do. They have the option to look at their hand obviously and decide if they would like to discard any of them and replenish up to 6 or just skip it. You have the ability to discard up to 5 cards and replenish up to 5, and that might be a good reason if you, for example, have 3 apple cards and you would like to try and increase and get more apples, just to obviously get more apples. So I'll just show you how that works. I can get rid, let's say, of 2 cheese. I put them here. Now here we have the supply deck and 2 discard piles where I can actually take cards from there in order, which means I cannot grab the second card if I want. If I want the second card, I have to take the top one as well. Let's say that I'm going to discard these 2 right here and grab from the supply. I was not lucky, I did not get the apples that I wanted, but let's imagine that that's the result that I'm taking. And then after everybody's done there, everybody choosing, we're going to the lowered merchant bag, which we select up to 5 cards to load our merchant bag. Now you can put any combination of cards in it up to 5. You can mix it with a contraband, take the risk of smuggling. What I will do, I'm going to put 4 cards in, 3 apples and 1 silk contraband. We're putting that in. Let's see. Seal that. Alright. And then I hand it to the sheriff, declaring I have to be truthful about one thing and one thing only: the number of cards that I have and number of goods. So I have 4 goods in there and I need to declare the type of good. So I can be truthful about that if I want, or bluff. So I go to the sheriff and tell the sheriff I have 4 apples, and obviously one of them is not an apple, but the sheriff does not know that. Once I give the sheriff my merchant bag, as well as the other players do the same thing, the sheriff would have approximately a minute per player to try and figure out what's going on, catch our bluff or not. So the sheriff would look into our eyes and say, "What do you say you had there?" It's basically kind of like a discussion phase that happens here. If for any reason I see that the sheriff might take the chance and try and catch me by opening a bag, I can offer some donation, not a bribe, but a donation. If the sheriff takes that, he can return it to me. I pass in and then I grab everything in there and I add it to my market stand. But the sheriff might say, "I'm gonna check you, I don't trust you." Once the sheriff does this, There is no more negotiation. The sheriff opens it up. Now he sees there are 3 apples. These apples, these are the good that I declared. I get them into my market stall. However, the contraband here is going to be confiscated, but I will have to pay the sheriff a penalty of 4 coins according to what's indicated here. That's just a shame. But let's imagine that I was not caught and the sheriff was good for some reason and he handed it over to me. Once I grab it from the sheriff or the sheriff hands it to me, nothing can happen to me again. I open it up and then I take all of the goods, whichever they are, place them next to their side of the market stall, which is right here for the apples. Any contraband I put face down up here, and everybody then laugh and say, "Ooh, you succeeded to smuggle something." Now, there is another condition that might happen. If, for example, I put only 3 cards of apples, and I tell the sheriff I have 3 apples, and I was truthful about it basically, and the sheriff decides to inspect my bag. He opens it, he finds, yeah, you had 3 apples, and then what will happen is that the sheriff will pay me penalty as indicated on each card, 2 per card, and that will be 6. I'll get those goods back here, and that's basically it. Now, so this was also the declaration phase that I just demonstrated, inspection and end of round, which what happens in end of round, all of the players replenish back to 6 cards, and the sheriff token is being passed to the next player, and so on. So after a certain number of rounds, we tally up the points, which is the coins combined with the victory points, and then whomever has the most cards of a specific good will be considered the king and will be rewarded with extra points. The second person after that has the most of a certain good receive also certain points, and that's really the basis of the game. That's a very, very neat, fun game. Art is pretty impressive in my opinion. I highly recommend this game. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like it. I would appreciate that. I'll appreciate the subscription as well, and remember that sharing is caring. Thank you for watching.